Obviously, it's Gilbert Melendez. El Nino. El Nino. I almost put an A at the end of it. That would have been really, really bad. El Nino? No, that's not. No, it's not.
La Nina?
Yeah.
That's my daughter.
That's right. I forgot about that. We've already had this conversation. Yeah.
That's it.
How is your daughter doing?
She's great, man. Almost 3 in August, and she's awesome, entertaining.
You got her training already? I know she hangs out with you a lot. Is she already picking up the mannerisms of training and practice and all that?
She does. She was his daddy training, his daddy sweating, and then she does her shadow boxing. Didn't even have to teach her.
How much energy do you have after a hard ass workout? You're just dragging home, and all of a sudden you get your girl, and you're like, I can go for another 8 hours. I'm good to go.
It's pretty brutal, man. I get back and she has all this energy and she just jumps all over me. I feel like I try my best, but sometimes she's all over me. I need to call my girl and be like, babe, take the kid away.
How do you balance it? It's tough because you are very family oriented, so you want to be there for your daughter all the time, but you got a training camp. You're in the middle of getting ready for a big fight.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I feel like I have neglected her a bit, but luckily I got a great girl to take care of her, and we got a lot of family support. And she's at an age now where she's a little more independent. Opposed to about 2 years ago, it was a little tougher when she was a newborn. But it's better. It's getting easier.
Taking care of her is getting easier. Is that making your training camp easier because you're getting a better sleep pattern and a better eat pattern?
Exactly, man. She'll still try to jump in the bed here and there and interrupt here and there. But yes, the first couple times was brutal when she'd, I fought Masvidal and all that. It was a little tough. But I've adapted. As a parent, you just don't sleep that much. I'm running a little better without much sleep.
You learn how much the body can actually do with 4 hours of sleep a night. It's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly, bro.
Like wow, and it's never the same time either. Sometimes it's midnight to 4 a.m. Sometimes it's 9 to 1 a.m. Sometimes it's only 2 to 6 a.m. It's always random.
Always interrupted.
Yeah, it's all right though. Obviously things are going well. We were talking about it back when you were still in Strikeforce, when Strikeforce was still around. Even before then, how you need to be in the big leagues, how you need to be in the UFC, and you kind of weren't getting, you weren't getting the value. People weren't seeing the value in you coming over to the big spot at 155. Here you are. Is it kind of satisfying now to finally be like, look, yeah, like I am one of the best 55 pounders in the world. Next week I'm going to prove it. But you finally get a little satisfaction knowing that people now are kind of embracing you a little bit more.
Yeah, most definitely. It's crazy. I've done a lot in the sport, and and still you don't get the credit until you're part of the UFC brand. And I can already see it. Just walking the streets, just the power of the UFC brand. But it does feel good. It does feel good to get the respect and. It's a big milestone. It's quite an accomplishment just to say I'm fighting for the UFC title, and it'll be even better to say I won it. But it is quite an accomplishment already.
Gilbert's getting ready to fight Benson Henderson. What does Benson bring to the table that you haven't seen before in any one of your other opponents?
Well, you know what? Like he doesn't have the most devastating strike, the most devastating wrestling and grappling, but he transitions well. He's a real mixed martial artist, and what he does best is he can put everything together really well, and and a lot of guys are a little more predictable or do like a certain strength, and he's a guy who puts it together. Though I have been fighting Josh Thompson quite a bit, and he's actually a guy like that as well, who's a real rounded mixed martial artist. And people usually have their strengths, and Josh Thompson and him are two of the guys that I feel are really good putting it all together.
Now, what are you going to do with that kind of, okay, here I'm walking in, here comes a bunch of stuff, because I watch tape all the time on everybody that's fighting. I always look at tape. And I don't really see any of his tells, like the poker game. Like you can tell when a guy is about to do something, he got his tells. Have you seen some of his tells that you're going to be able to, okay, this next thing is coming now?
I can't say I see his tells. I usually get the feel while I'm out there. I try to create reactions when I fight. I try to make things happen. I try to make him bite. And I have my ideas to draw him into my fight or to draw him into my fight, but I do see some tendencies he does, the way he circles and the way he plays with his hair, and there's a couple things I do see and that I do want to capitalize on. Exactly.
It's like every time it's over and then over the ear and then over and then over the ear, but I'm still trying to find out what he does immediately after. Like he's got like 5 or 6 different things he does. I'm trying to figure out, okay, if I'm fighting, if I'm Gilbert, like what are the tells I'm looking for to be able to be a half a step ahead, knowing what's going to happen, the reaction time. And for me, it's been very difficult to pick stuff apart.
Yeah, you never really know until you lock horns with someone. You know what I mean? You never really do. But he has that good footwork. He has that big kick. He has that shot. But you're right. You don't know when it's coming. I think the trick is not to be so scared of it or to like wait for it or people run away from the kicks. I'm not scared of the kick. I'm not scared of the takedown. I'm going to meet him head on.
How has the Cesar Gracie team and everyone up there hanging out with you changed since you got this ability now to, hey, I'm in this fight, what am I going to do?
It's been great, you know what I mean. A lot of us have had title fights, and I'm like the last one getting it, and it's good, man. The team's behind me, and I think they support me on it, and we've been coming together as a team and working hard together as always, and again, I think it's an advantage that Nate's fought him. I got to see it firsthand, and you got to tell me some stuff, but the team's juiced about it, and I'm trying to pull one in for the team. It's quite an accomplishment for all of us to get title shots. I think it's it's a big thing for our team, but I'd like to be the one to bring that title back for us.
Has anything changed as far as your training habit or training patterns getting ready for this fight that's different from other training camps?
Well, I would say the main thing is just motivation and excitement about training, and it's been easier to push harder. It's been easier to get up and get in the gym, and sometimes, depending on the fight, it's not so exciting to get in the gym. You might do your two-a-days, but you might not push as hard. You might cut it a little short. Now it's like, it's easy to get up and it's easy to push harder. When you run outside, you can run a slow pace on your own or you can push harder. No one's watching, but I decide to push harder.
But you've always kind of had that determination. Like you've always been that guy. Like you've always been, I'm gonna get up and outrun you this morning, and then this afternoon I'm gonna out grapple you, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna out punch you. It's just the way you've always been. You're wired that way to be better than everybody else around you. How difficult is that to be still like that in the room you got with both Diaz brothers, with Jake, with Josh Thompson? Like you got a ton of guys in there that at any moment of any time of any day can beat the crap out of you. Like you guys are all that good.
Yeah, it's pretty discouraging at times, Sometimes you doubt yourself. You're like, am I ready? Like, this is horrible. We put ourselves in crappy situations, We don't just spar one guy. I spar three of the toughest guys, and they rotate in on me. And it makes you feel like you're not prepared. But, you work your butt off in here. You get your ass kicked in here, so it doesn't happen out there, basically. And, locking horns with someone, I always realize they're never as strong as Jake, battling with someone, they're never as slick as the Diaz boys, and they're not as long as them. They're not as good as boxing. So it's brutal in here, and it is discouraging at times. But when learn to put it in perspective, it's a little easier to deal with.
When you wake up on a Friday morning and you got to make weight that day, how much over will you be?
Friday morning, I'll probably be like 3 pounds that morning. But Thursday night, I'll probably walk in. At one point Thursday night, I may be 11 to 12 pounds over. But by the time I get into the by the time I get into the room to, when I start cutting the water out, about 6 p.m. and I go cut my weight around 10 p.m., I probably get into the gym around, 9, 8.5 over, and I get down pretty low and drink a little at night, wake up 2.5 over maybe,
Okay. First meal after you make weight?
First meal after I make weight, I'll probably have some chicken soup. I love chicken soup, man.
Really?
Yeah, I love chicken soup. It's harder for me to eat a lot of food, so it's fluid at the same time. I have some rice in there, and I have chicken, and it's like kind of like fluid, and it's easy to go down, Of course, I want like a sandwich or I want stuff. It doesn't really happen, but I'll probably have a protein shake, a Vega protein shake, and some other protein homemade stuff. And it's, I wish it's easy to eat all I want at first, but it seems like chicken soup comes down really easy for me.
I'm not surprised with the chicken soup. I'm surprised the fact that there's meat in it, because my assumption was that everyone up there in your camp is vegetarians. It's just the assumption I made. I didn't realize that you and I can still hang out. We still eat meat.
Exactly, man. I mean, Jake's brainwashing everyone out here. They're all vegetarians and vegans, but you know what, man? It's awesome because I don't have to do much reading. They can just tell me what's good for me and what's bad for me. But I'm blessed to live in San Francisco. We go to Whole Foods. We got like the best kind of meat out here, the best kind of chicken. It's like we got a bunch of snobs in the restaurants and in the markets making sure this shit is quality, and I just gotta sit there and enjoy it and let my girl cooks me really well and stuff, and I eat healthy.